There's never been a better time to have SiriusXM. With over 140 channels in your vehicle, your all-access trial includes more than ever before to enjoy online, on your phone, or at home. Create your own ad-free personalized stations powered by Pandora. Hear ad-free extra channels and enjoy favorite shows with SiriusXM Video on Demand. What you love is on now.
What's going on, everybody? Hope you had a great summer weekend. Thanks for tuning in on this lunchtime learning session on Monday to get the week started right here on CMA Connected, presented by SiriusXM. I'm your host, Ben Wu. Excited to say that on today's show, we've got a brand new brand that hasn't appeared yet. In fact, this is their very first appearance, and it's a brand that's actually what I consider a legacy brand because it's been around since back in the day, known for its sound quality in both amplifiers and in full-range speakers. They are distributed exclusively here in Canada through our friends at Dix Performance. The brand, of course, is Diamond Audio. So to get this started right, we're going to get our super knowledgeable specialist from Dix Performance. His name is Dave McLean, and he'll be joining us to talk to us a little bit about the Diamond Audio brand. What's going on, man?
How's it going, Ben? How are you?
Super good. Hope you had a good weekend, Dave.
I did. Boats in the water.
Oh, that's all.
We're getting ready for the last of the summer, so it's exciting times.
Oh, don't talk about it like that, man. Although remote car starter season is just around the corner, isn't it?
We are already talking about that first run, so we're going to enjoy the sun and the heat and the water as long as we can before it freezes over.
We're going to milk that's for sure. First of all, really nice spread. I like the setup here. I see where we're going with this today.
We had some new gear show up, so I'm happy to show it all off.
Oh, just in time, did it?
Just in time.
So, Dave, talk to us a little bit about Dix Performance and Diamond Audio.
Well, we've been doing Diamond Audio since 2015. I think we had a slow start to it, but it has been ramping up, and Diamond has really put the gears to their product. They've really stepped up. There's a trickle-down effect at Diamond where eventually the top-end technology ends up in the entry level, and that's really what I'm here to talk about today is the DMD lineup. Dix Performance is proud to have this on the shelf and ready for our network of dealers. And, our customers are just as happy to take it off the shelves as the end user is. So some exciting stuff here for sure.
All right. We're definitely going to dive into all that. And I see there's a lot to talk about just with what you have prepared. But we're not alone on this journey. We did knock on the doors of Diamond Audio and say, hey, can you, make some time and send your trainer to help us out on this episode? And he's like, absolutely. So without further ado, why don't we bring him on? His name is Bryan Piper, and he's the trainer and product specialist from Diamond Audio.
Good morning, guys. Good morning.
Good morning for you, I guess. Good afternoon for me. I guess it depends. We have viewers from everywhere. Bryan, thanks for joining us on this one, man.
Absolutely. Happy to be here.
So I was talking to Dave, and Dave's got a cool spread of product, and he's saying that you and Dix have a great relationship here in Canada. It's been 5 years and going on strong. And I know I've been hearing a lot of buzz because in a lot of the different sessions that I do, obviously talk to a lot of dealers and everything. And Diamond keeps popping up, and for me, it keeps popping up in one or two specific categories. I want to commend you guys on the work that you've done on that front. And there's no doubt in motorcycle, it's the name keeps popping up, and audio just as a go-to audio line, right? For car audio, which is obviously making somewhat of a resurgence. So, Bryan, why don't you talk to us a little bit about, Diamond Audio and your involvement and what exactly you do with Diamond?
So I came on to Diamond back on February 1st, actually. I had sent in a resume several months beforehand and, excuse me, got a call, and we did the discussion and got everything going, and I came on the beginning of February. And my role here is predominantly tech support and training. And then I've also gotten into doing product verification as far as making sure products are what we say they are, that they perform the way we want them to, and that the owner's manuals and things like that are correct. And moving forward from there, we'll probably get into some of the product development and stuff like that. But for now, we're sticking to where we're at right now.
Oh, wow.
But I really enjoy it. It's definitely falling right into my wheelhouse of where I wanted to be in the industry at this point.
Well, first of all, congratulations on the somewhat new role.
Thank you.
And if Dave, if you heard what I heard, that sounds like Bryan might have access to goodies that are beyond our reach. Is that what you heard? Because that's what I heard.
That's what I heard.
Yeah. I definitely have access to some of the things that I know about that can't talk about sometimes, or that I know about that we have on the way.
Oh,
And but I happen to have pieces here for us to show off.
so was I right to when with the feedback that I had that like Diamond's kind of making a ruckus in the motorcycle audio side of things?
Oh, absolutely. There's a little thing that's been going on kind of behind the scenes between us and some other manufacturers, but we're kind of labeled. You have, so like when you think about head units, you think the big three. So you think Kenwood, Alpine, Pioneer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or different brands, like different categories. There's always like the big three category,
Mm-hmm.
brands. So we've kind of fallen into the big three in motorcycle audio with Sound Digital and Rockford, right? And so when you're running amplifiers, you're almost always going to be running either Rockford or Diamond or Sound Digital. When you're running speakers, it's almost always Rockford or Diamond when you're talking high-end brand name products. So we have kind of fallen into that, and we have a really good reputation for a lot of the speakers we've made. We've got some pretty unique speakers that not other companies have come up with yet to copy or spin off of, as we all tend to do in the industry. But we do have some new stuff that I'm excited to show today, and some other products that we'll talk about as well.
All right. Well, why don't we start from the top? Can we go right into maybe new motorcycle products or anything in that category?
Absolutely. So what I've got right here, and you can see the boxes behind me, these are the MS Neo series. So this is the step up from the MS Pro that we've had for years. They're a pro audio style mid-range. These have a Neo magnet on the back, okay? And then they have a woven Kevlar cone here. So this is going to be a higher end version of what we already have. I've tested the 6x9 and the 6 already in pods, and I can tell you that they will blow you away on what they do performance wise. I ran the 6s for like an hour on 125 watts, and they didn't even falter once. They just went and went and went, and were ready to take more. Just these speakers, no tweeter to go with them, and they are clean and clear, and wow, just very, very impressive on how they perform. Again, Neo magnet, very, very lightweight. The cool thing with the 6 that I do like about this, in the Pro series and a lot of our other speakers, the magnet always posed a problem when you were putting it into the fairing pod in a Harley. These do not have that problem anymore. You don't have to modify the back of the fairing pod to get the speaker to go in. It'll just drop right in and screw in, and you're ready to go. So very, very good to know on that. 6x9 is nice and loud, will fit in the pods, in the lid kits, things like that. Woven cone, so it's going to be a little more water resistant than even what our Pro series was. And performance wise, they will take gobs of power. If I remember correctly, 300 or 350 watts RMS on these.
Dave, you don't have these in stock yet, right? These are
I don't have those. I have the MS Pros. I got the old ones.
So,
but
what's your first impressions based on what you've just seen here so far? What Bryan has shown?
I'm very happy to hear that they fit without modification. I'm sure a lot of installers are going to like that.
Yep.
And we like the power. Bikes are louder, and they run on the highway at 60 mile an hour with a headwind. You need the power to hear it. So it's great to see that they've got something with some serious power behind it.
Okay, and I just want to add in, these are on their way. So the guys that want them need to get their orders in as soon as possible, because we already have been pre-orders, pre-selling. We are expecting these by the end of the month to be ready to ship.
That's great news.
Good news. So upping the game in the Neo category. So we're talking about the neodymium magnet. It looks like a redesigned basket as well. You talked about a more reinforced cone, so a little bit more impermeability. as far as the elements are concerned. If you don't mind, Brad, can you just grab that one more time? I wanted to focus something on the surround here. I noticed something. I wanted to ask you a question about. That looks like a little bit different of a design on the surround. Am I right?
So the surround just has the double bumped surround there.
Mhm.
It just helps add rigidity and flexibility for the speaker.
Okay, very, very cool.
Okay.
Awesome. And Dave, did you have any questions with regards to the Neo?
When are they going to get here? And I think he answered that. So
Yeah.
Is the demand for the higher end stuff in Canada there for motorcycle, Dave?
it's coming along. Absolutely. The bike guys seem to really want to go to the top of the line because they're tired of doing upgrades along the way. They want to get into the performance so they can get after riding, and they don't want to have to come back to the shop because they want to hit the highway. They want to put the miles on, they want to turn it up, and they want reliability. So they're not scared to spend some money. They want the high-end gear. I think it's a great thing for Diamond to really head in that direction. Entry-level speakers, they get a guy by to sell a bike or move a bike to the next guy. But if he's really serious about his bike, he's going to spend some money. And those Neos are awesome because they don't want to modify things so that things can't be undone. You can turn a couple guys off from having to do it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, fitment is very important. And for the feedback that I've had from a lot of the top shops who are really heavy into motorcycle is you got to have the top of the line, whatever product you're selling at this point, you got to have it in stock, because a lot of the times, and maybe this is hopefully reflective of where car audio might be going back to, but as far as bike goes, guys come in and say, what's the best one you have? Like, let's just cut to the chase.
They're looking to get out for the weekend, right? Like they want to get it in and get out riding. They don't want to wait 2 weeks.
Let's not forget, this is not the guy who bought a $10,000 motorcycle.
No.
Right? Well, we're talking about very expensive motorcycles that they only demand the best. So very interesting. And maybe this is, part and parcel to another conversation we can have further later on. Okay, so we're talking about the Neo speakers. Why don't we go into what you have showing there, Dave? I mean, you mentioned at the top of the session that these are one of your favorite lineup products within the line. Talk to us about it.
Well, I like getting guys into car audio. The best thing about car audio is experiencing it for the first time and not really hurting your pocketbook so much. So this is the entire DMD lineup. This is what they would consider their entry-level lineup, and by no means by the specs are they entry-level. Diamond's done a really good job of doing that little trickle-down effect of knowing what they know well from their Hex and their DES series, and have really kind of inserted it into this line. Everything from their 3-inch add-ins, you're going to get your 4-inch square, you're going to get your BMW adapter and a 4x6 plate. So they've got a full offering: coax, convertibles, component, 5x7, 6x9. So they're going to fit in your OE spots. You're going to be able to drop these in and really enjoy what they have to offer, even if you're just using the factory power. Everything from 40 watts to 70 watts. Our 3-inch drop-in for all the Dodge guys. Nice little guy there. Subwoofers, there's a full offering. We've got our shallow mount, 200 watt RMS on the 10-inch, 300 watt on the 12-inch. We've got our 10 and 12. Both of these are available, dual 2-ohm, dual 4-ohm, 200 watt RMS on the subwoofers. So it allows you to make combos. We really like doing a 3-channel system. Gets guys into having an amplified front stage with a woofer to really experience car audio the right way. And Diamond offers that in a full line. The amplifiers fit where other amplifiers won't fit these days, and they've got some big power. So, with the amplifiers, we've got a 1,000-watt monoblock, basically like 8x8, 1,000 watts at 2 ohms. Very nice package. The nice thing is they package everything with a 4-channel that's identical size, so you can make a nice symmetrical looking system if you're doing both. With your 6-channel, we're 160x4 at 2 ohm, 100x4 at 4 ohm, and then your 320x2 bridged. So you can really make a nice system out of that. 100 watts up front, 320 in the trunk. That's a great entry-level place. And really where this stuff shines is where guys want audio, but they're not willing to really pay the top dollar for it. We do a lot of hot rods, and we do a lot of classic cars here. And this is the line that really ends up in those cars a lot because they've spent a lot of money under the hood, spent a lot of money on paint. They're not so inclined to change locations of speakers from where they were in the factory. We're doing a lot of dash speakers, a lot of rear deck speakers, and these things shine. They work really, really well. ABS plastic, molded, cage, you've got a woven cone. You know, all of the speakers are backed with a rubber mount, so you don't have like an open magnet on the back, which a lot of guys really enjoy having a finished speaker, both sides. You know, all the tweeters are clockable, so you can really get that good sound. You know, on our 6.5 component, you can add the 3-channel to make a full 3-channel system. So there's some great flexibility here. You know, fitment isn't an issue with this line. These all fit in the OE doors, no trim rings in a lot of cases. You know, it's a great line and it's fully featured.
For me, the first thing that stands out based on all the features that you just discussed, you know, this is a solutions line.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And that's important to know. I for one did not know that Diamond provided kind of like OE solution fit type, you know, drivers. I will point out that the cosmetics on it are fantastic. You're telling me this is
absolutely. This doesn't look like an entry-level speaker.
Oh, this is entry level.
This is entry level.
Oh wow, that looks really.
This is an entry level. You know, this is the next step. This is the Diamond feel of car audio, right? You're not going to get an entry level line. You're going to get a premium line for an entry level price point. You know, we're building systems out the door, you know, in that $2,000 to $3,000 range, and you're getting $4,000 or $5,000 worth of car audio.
No, they look really good. I did not expect that to be entry. I mean, I'm looking just the little details, right? Like the cone and just the design of the things, the look and the feel. That 6x9 definitely has my attention. What is that module in the middle?
So that's the tweeters. So this is their 3-way. So like a really nice pod style. Again, ABS, fully finished speaker, really nice push terminals. You know, it's a hard press to find another speaker like that in an entry level lineup.
Very good. So only 2 models of amplifiers?
There's actually 4 in this lineup. So there's a 250 monoblock, a 500 monoblock, a 1000 monoblock, and a 604 currently.
Very, very good.
Okay, wait.
Bryan? Yeah.
Wait. So we're about to add another one.
I knew he was going to be sneaky today.
Okay, so nobody has this. This is we were talking about those goodies that you know we get to play with that you guys don't see all the time. So this is labeled as a 1006D, but this is actually going to be the 1106. Okay, so this is a brand new amplifier. I just tested this last week. 6-channel amplifier, rated 475 by 4 by 75 and 2 by 100 at 4 ohms. Tested on the Demore Engineering SMD amp dyno at 4 by 126 at 4 ohms. At 2 ohms, it's 4 by 178 stereo. Bridged mono on the front 4 channels will give you 2 by 307. And then channels 5 and 6 give you 2 by 488 watts bridged. So this thing is a big amplifier in a very small footprint. If you can see that, it's about the size of my hand, right? So huge power.
This is part of the same series that Dave has in front of him?
That DMD, yes, that is the same series.
Are we getting a cosmetic color change with the amps? Because I see that's black, obviously.
Yeah, I think this is just the production sample, or you know, a testing sample that we got. I doubt we're gonna do a color change on them just yet. It'll come looking similar to the ones he has there. And
I guess we won't be able to confirm this, but is that the same chassis as the one in front of Dave, size-wise?
Should be very close, yes.
Interesting.
Looks like it's just a tad longer.
It might be a little bit.
It might be a hair longer, but
I mean, cosmetically, it's the same with the emblem and the lines. And
the appearance will be the same. Correct.
Dave, comments?
I'm excited. I can't wait for that one to show up. That we love doing multi-channel. Diamond's known for multiple amplifiers in the 6-channel range. Their DXM line, their HXM line, and those are by far and away our top sellers. People really love doing multi-channel systems, and they want a single solution for it.
Right.
Man, I hate to say this. So this is my comment on this part. I'm old school like you guys are. And yeah, you know, I used to love amps that had the bridges that I could connect amps together to make it look like even bigger amps. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
But if I, you know, and if I look at the market and where the trends are and the design of the vehicles these days, man, that smaller footprint amp is what you're going to be installing and what customers want. They don't want to sacrifice trunk space. In my situation, my wife will not allow me to put anything in the trunk that takes up more space than, you know, a set amount. So yeah, I got to look towards smaller amp and smaller sub applications. So absolutely right. I think Diamond's nailing it on the head by putting a lot of power with options into a entry level, right, series that offers that kind of power in a multi-channel setup. Definitely the way to go.
Absolutely.
Very
Absolutely.
cool.
I did miss a couple numbers on this amplifier. On channels 5 and 6, 4 ohm stereo, it's 1 by 53, or 2 by 53. And at 2 ohm stereo, it was 2 by 240. So this is
240 at 2 ohm
200 at
stereo.
2 ohm stereo on channels 5 and 6 on this amplifier. So easily something that you can run a good 3-way active set, or make this an all-in-one amplifier to run an entire
Yeah.
vehicle in one single footprint.
I think you nailed it there, Brian. You're gonna have two customers for that app. One that wants that all-in-one, bridge me the last two channels, put the sub, everything's done in one piece.
Correct.
Or get that giant monoblock that Dave just mentioned and match it with that and go 3-way active throughout. That'd be sick.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, cool.
So
And you
definitely
said,
some cool stuff.
and to circle back, Dave, you mentioned that those component sets could be set up 3-way. Could you elaborate
Yeah,
on
absolutely.
that, please?
So like you can do their 6.5 component that comes with their tweet, and then you can add the 3-inch in.
I see.
So you can do a full 3-way add-on. A little better suited when you move up the line, obviously. The DES has a much better matrix for the crossover. But for an entry-level line, to have the power we're talking about and the options for fitment and offer those audiophile settings for the beginner, it's hard to beat this. Like it gives me goosebumps, talking about Diamond's entry-level lineup, and really gets excited to get people started in this because, to start with a brand and move up through the brand, that becomes difficult these days. Like guys are asking for brands that really only do high-end car audio, and they want to get started and they almost get sticker shock. This is their ability to get that name that they really want, but at the price they're willing to pay, and really enjoy what they're buying. This isn't washed out gear. They're really giving you bang for the buck across the entire lineup. And there's no wrong decision in Diamond. You can pick an entry-level system and have something really outstanding to show off and listen to on your commute.
Brian, on those series of amps, we're talking crossovers built in?
Crossovers built in, yes.
Okay. Any bass boost knobs? Options on that?
Let's see. I believe
So the monoblock has a bass knob that it comes with.
The monoblock does, right? Not the multi-channel?
Right. So these do not have a bass boost on them. They just have gain and crossover.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
Too much, gotta keep what we can do on the footprint.
No, absolutely. It's a small, tiny footprint, but hey, good. So all crossed over, that's a one-piece solution. Okay, cool.
Absolutely.
Well, I want to get into this back to the beginning. Let's talk about a little bit more about motorcycle. What else do we have in motorcycle coming down the pipe?
So we have a few things coming. We do have. I don't have one to show. Excuse me, but we do have a 10-inch coax coming down the road, so that you could do like a
10-inch coax.
10-inch coax. Yes, it'll be across all of our lines. It'll be marine cans and things like that. But we are doing single drivers that you can load into like the side of a bag or something like that and run mid bass and tweeter as well.
I'm going to imagine that's going to be pretty shallow too. It has to be.
Yeah, they're not super deep. They're not real deep, but it'll come in the HXM line. Those I believe are on the way as well. I'm not sure when we'll have those ready to ship, but they are coming. So I do have a very cool piece that I want to show, and we can talk about this kind of in depth. So I'm going to bring this up here real close and show this. But what this is the coming Diamond Audio cut-in lid kit. Okay, so this one is completely assembled already. So it's got the HXM 69 F4 already bolted to it. But this is a lid kit for the 14 and up Harley Davidson lids. So I got a few pieces of it that I want to show. So you'll get with it will be the cut-in template. So this will get mounted to your lid. There's a couple screws here that go on, and then you tape down the edges so you don't mess up any paint or anything. Drill some holes, and then you follow it around with like a hole saw, not a hole saw, sorry, but like an air saw or a jigsaw, whatever you're going to use. And this will cut the hole for you. Then we've got the two components of the lid kit, which are the grill and the speaker mount. Okay, and the one thing that I want to point out on the grill is that we use machine screws with inserted machine nuts already in the plastic, so we're not using plastic screws or wood screws or any other kind of. This is an actual machined fastener, so these are going to be a great mount. They're all stainless steel, so they're not going to rust on a bike sitting outside or over the time being out in the weather and humidity if you're in the south. They will come branded. These are samples, so they don't have the Diamond Audio logo on them, but they will have the Diamond Audio logo built into them. This is a solid piece of plastic that is the mount, has the gasket on it, so when you put it up to the lid of the bike, it seals, and then it has the mounting points for all of our speakers. If you guys are familiar with the HXM speakers, they have kind of an unusual lip on the top, so we created a rubber gasket that fits down inside the speaker on the top, and so when you put that up to this, it creates a solid watertight seal. And then you've got a 1/2-inch spacer that you can use if you need it for other speakers, just different things to get it to bolt in the way we want it to. But it's all included. Everything's there. These we have en route. Should be probably mid-September or so that we would expect to have these in and available to start shipping.
So I'll go first. I know Dave probably has a question or two, but I'm going to go first. So these are do any parts of those plastics show other than the grill? I'm wondering because are they paintable?
Yeah, it's plastic. I'm sure you could paint it, but all you're going to see from the top of the bike, this is what you're going to see when you look at the bike. You're going to see that.
Okay, I see. Gotcha. Okay. And now, is it meant for a specific 6x9 speaker or?
So we're going to ship them. The first ones will come with the HXM, the F4 series. Then shortly after that, we will ship them with the MP694s and the MS69CXs. So you'll be able to buy it they don't come just as a lid kit. It will come with speakers.
I guess that's what the question I had was.
Right,
okay.
Yeah. So it'll come with one of the 3 of our 6x9 offerings that we currently have. And I believe you'll be able to do the Neos as well at some point.
So there's 4 sets of speakers that fit?
Yeah, it fits all of our 6x9s.
Wow. And those are all weather resistant, made for bike 6x9s.
Right. I mean, like the one that we have the most confusion with is the MP694. It is a water resistant, not waterproof, because it does have the horn compression tweeter in it, and if that gets wet, there's really nothing you can do. So but the kit will fit any of them, and there is ways to kind of take care of those speakers or treat the grill and stuff like that if you want to put the 694 in there.
Dave?
What's the time frame on all this? Is
Dave just cares
is all I ever ask, and I just want to get it on the shelf as fast as possible because
right, yeah. So like
bike season's not over, right? So
yeah, so that's like I said, we have these coming. I believe our expected timeline is mid-September.
Okay.
Because in Canada, Dave, right? A lot of these bike guys, they want to shop now because they're going to go in the shop and they want their bikes worked on so that come spring, it's ready to go. So that's
and
winter's a big season
in light of everything that's going on, they're understanding that they need to get these parts now for next spring, and get your name on them and get your bike lined up in the shop because it's been busy. Lots of guys come by with their bikes mid-afternoon and they think they can get in right away, and they're unfortunately shocked that the parts may not be available right now, or it's a 1 to 2 week wait time, and they just want to get out and ride. So I think the winter builds are going to be fast and hard this year. So I'm very excited to see these released. It seems late in the season, but I think it's perfect timing. I think this was something that was really needed to round out the bike line. I'm happy to hear that they fit all the different types of speakers. Those coax 6x9 subwoofers are absolutely killer, and I cannot wait to mount them in a set of these bigger lid kits and get some bass on a bike. Other brands are doing bass-oriented upgrades, but you lose all your storage space. So this is a great option. I am so excited for these. This was a long time coming, and it's such a good, well-rounded line now.
You know what's crazy? Here's my 2 cents on this one. Years ago, it was good enough just to come up with great drivers, great tweeters, great crossover. Now it's beyond that. Now you got to put in the weather resistance. Now you got to talk about durability of the elements, and now you got to talk about plastic molding and grills and all this extra stuff that here it is. Here's a speaker. Go figure out how to put it in. Was before. Now it's like no. Here's the entire solution and the template of what you need to get the if you can show that piece, Brian, the template piece, that's included in the kit.
Yeah, you get one for each side.
There you go. I mean, that's all extra stuff that Diamond has to figure out.
Right.
I mean,
so what we're going to do on these too is instead of doing a how-to little booklet, we're actually going to shoot a video on how to do this install.
You might want to let us know when that's out.
We can. We absolutely
got a place
can.
to play that for you.
Yeah. So the idea is we're going to shoot the video and then just do like a QR code on the side of the box,
sweet. Right?
And that'll take you to the YouTube link on our YouTube channel that will show how to install these.
Now, shed some light on this for me. This is a really unique piece, if I'm reading this right, for the motorcycle market.
Yeah, I mean, there's only a couple of companies that make a lid kit. Rockford has theirs, and I think Boss Audio is the other one that has a lid kit. So it's not widely available to have lid kits. So what you end up with is, guys that'll buy a different manufacturer's lid kit, and then they may retrofit into ours, and it takes some work. So as Dave said, it is a little bit late in the season, but we wanted to make sure that this was as perfect as we could get it. We've gone through a lot of iterations of this. We did do an install training class at Knowledge Fest in Orlando where we put this lid kit on a bike. It was the very first one ever done. The guys that brought the bike actually did the install, and we just kind of walked them through it, and man, it went in like boom, flawless.
And what about positioning for the speakers? Is that from the driver's position with that type of kit? Is it angled? Is it? I'm just trying to get the detail.
It just really just shoots straight up.
Yeah. All right.
It just fires straight up through the.
That's got to be loud though.
It's going to be ridiculous.
Using the bag as an enclosure. I mean, that's got to be loud.
Yeah, it is. It is very, very loud. Lots of bottom end response. We were actually pretty surprised with how that sounded we used the HXM F4 in that kit, and it was very, very impressive, I have to say.
Okay, so to round out
just a little nugget for R&D in the future, but like a die cut acoustic matting with these kits for those bags would be amazing.
That's something that could be definitely in the future, yes.
Yeah, you mean in the kit, boom, just
in the kit.
It's already cut, ready to go.
Yeah. Let's be honest, if you just throw those in a bag, you're going to have a lot of rattles and a lot of things happening. Die cut kits that just fit would be amazing.
And Harley guys are picky about that too. They don't want schlepped together acoustic damping material.
No, they want it to look nice inside the bag too, because they're going to open it and they're going to show all their buddies, because they're all mechanics. They all work on bikes.
100%.
You don't just see the outside; they always show you behind the scenes. So having something branded inside the bag, just for future. Just a little nugget for Brian.
I have to agree with Dave on this. I did a session with Metra, and they do all the wiring kits. It's so clean, and the guys eat it up, because trying to do it yourself, it just so much more work to get that clean look, because it's so important to them. I have to agree with what Dave's saying. So that could be a very interesting suggestion.
I'll make a note of it for sure.
Absolutely,
we appreciate that for sure.
All right, guys. So let's review. So we talked about the brand new Neo line that's coming. That's going to be top of the line, pro style bike. So if you guys are listening and you want top of the line gear for your bike customers, this is definitely something you want to take a closer look at. And then after that, we talked about Dave's favorite line, which is the DMD line, which is all in front of him, solutions based, budget conscious, friendly, with a new amplifier coming down the line in that 6 channel that Brian showed. And then we talked about also the bagger lids and the kit, available 4 different 6x9 speaker level trim models, coming to you soon. All this stuff coming soon. So I did a little bit of research Dave, I checked around and say, who sells, from a retail standpoint, who sells Diamond and who's enthusiastic about it and has vocalized it to me in previous sessions. So I thought it'd be a good idea to bring on Ray Choi from FX to get his spin and perspective as an installer, as a shop, as a retailer. What he has to say about Diamond Audio. You guys okay with that?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
It
absolutely.
doesn't matter because I'm not giving you a choice. I'm bringing Ray on. That was just a formality. All right, let's go ahead and go right to. I'm guessing he's in Edmonton. Probably is. Ray Choi, what's going on, Ray?
Hey guys, thanks for having me on.
Did I get that right? You're in Edmonton today?
I'm in Spruce Grove, actually.
Spruce Grove. There you go. All right.
I'm only 15 minutes apart, so I mean, it's pretty much Edmonton.
For us East Coasters, that's Edmonton.
Yes.
All
I'm
right.
excited. There looks like to be a lot of new products coming out from Diamond Audio. Which
This is a connected session that included a lot of unveilings, a lot of new product. I know you were listening in the back.
Yeah, I was.
And before we talk about that, Ray, FX Audio, you guys have been running a ton of events. Anything you want? Like, how's the summer been going for you guys?
You know what? We've had a really condensed summer because, I mean, we really just opened up at the beginning of July. Our first Sound Off event was July 17th, I believe it was. But basically every second week, we're doing a set of shows. We've been on the road. We did Lloydminster, Saskatoon, Regina it would be 2 weeks ago now. This weekend coming up, we'll have shows here. The week after that, we'll be in Lincoln City doing a show. The week after that, we'll be in Brookston and Lethbridge. And 2 weeks after that, we'll be having our Canadian finals wrap up because it's a condensed season. So basically, all the time we have, every 2 weeks was the time frame, putting on shows and away we go. So,
oh, man, the people must be juiced just to get out, eh?
Yeah, well, I think they're just excited to be able to do something, outdoors, whatever, rather than saying, you have to stay home and you can't do this and you can't do that. So it's kind of nice.
Well, hey, you still doing the hair tricks demos and the barbecues?
100%. That's our number one fun event that everybody loves to see is those hair tricks.
Sweet. All right. So the reason I picked you out of the long list of dealers that Dix has is you have actually vocalized your appreciation of the Diamond Audio product, specifically to bike. So I thought it'd be a good idea to actually give you an opportunity to talk to us a little bit about that. So how long have you been installing Diamond Audio, and what are your first impressions or impressions that you've had over time?
Well, we've been doing Diamond Audio for actually a really, really long time. We started with Diamond Audio back in 1999, and I showed some photos earlier about the D7 amplifiers and the HDX subs and Hex Series components and stuff like that. We used to compete in Iasca with all of their Diamond Audio products and stuff like that. And as time grew, we kind of grew apart, and now we've refound Diamond Audio and stuff like that. And, bar none, they, in my opinion, are the best, motorcycle gear out there for a multitude of reasons. One of the things that you guys were talking about was, fitment of speakers into the fairing pods and stuff like that. We've done a bunch of let me think about this for just a quick second. The MP series, there's the MP654s, which is a horn-loaded, coax, and they fit perfect. It's a great fitment. The M075T, the shallow mount tweeters, absolutely amazing. If you want a lot of high end for when you're riding on your bike and stuff like that, that mounts perfectly in the grill, and there's enough clearance to have that and the MP654s in there and stuff like that. So yeah, just super, super good products. A couple of questions that I had for you guys, though, actually, other than the fact that
bring it.
Best. You talked about the bag kits. Are they going to come with connectors and stuff like that to run wires out of the bag to the bike?
So they don't come with connectors, but we do have the pre-built wiring kits for the Harley Davidsons.
Perfect. Coax in the Neo lineup. I see that the MS Neos that you have there are just regular mids. Right. They would match great with the M075T, but is there any future stuff as far as putting coaxes into that particular lineup?
Not currently. These are more of a Pro Audio mid-range. Like I said, it's the step up from the MS Pro that we have currently, but gets you into the Neo Magnet and a more rigid fiber cone. So this will be just a mid-range that you pair with one of our tweeter kits.
Gotcha. The 10-inch one that you were talking about, is that going to be a coax?
That is a coax. That is the HXM 10F4.
Nice.
So it'll be the 10-inch version of this 6x9. So it'll have the LEDs, the digital LEDs, and everything in it as well. They were designed to go in cans for marine application, but we were like, hey, we need these for bikes as well, because that's something that'll go right in the side of a bag with the right kind of.
Is that a thing now? Lit Harley speakers, because that's new for me.
100%. Yes, we've done it.
I thought that stayed on the marine side. I never knew that creeped over to bikes.
We do LED kits to light up the engines and all kinds of stuff on Harley Davidsons. They want lighting on the ground underneath their bikes.
So you think it's a good idea to have the speakers lit?
Oh, 100%. Yes, 100%.
Interesting. All right.
It's visibility. You got to be seen, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, Harley guys. It's hard to be stealth with that exhaust.
Yeah,
that's
something.
Well, now in Edmonton, you got to be quiet, so now you got to show off all the lights and the stereo.
Not the lights, right? Gotcha.
Yeah. So, in case people don't know, these HXM F4s, they have a digital LED ring built into the spider down here. So you use a specific digital controller that we sell, and then it plugs in here, and then you link them all together. You can make them dance in circles and do all kinds of stuff off of the app, but they're all built in with a digital LED.
Yeah, and those would be pretty visible too, being on the top of the lid.
Absolutely.
Right.
And great news, everybody. Those speakers just landed at Dix. So we have the F4 series. They're on the shelf. They arrived on Friday. The digital LED controllers are following them shortly. So hot off the presses, those are on the shelf.
I'll put up the numbers on the bottom for those watching. You can go ahead and give that as Dave's personal cell, so we're ready to take your order.
But I did have a question about that.
Yeah.
If the LED controller is not available, could you just hook up a solid color, for example? Like if you hook up the because it's RGB wiring, if you did the blue wire and the hot, could you just have blue, or does it only work with the controller?
I believe that these only can work through the digital controller because it doesn't run a full 12 volts. It reduces it down.
So those are addressable LEDs, from what I'm understanding.
Yes, they are addressable.
Very, very cool.
If you go into the app, there's all kinds of different things with it done through the app. I will also mention the app is a little bit unusual to understand how to work it. So if you go to DAT training channel on YouTube, there's a video that I did that shows a walkthrough of how to use the app and how to set it up. And
Perfect.
Everything.
Cool.
Very good. What else you got, Ray? Because you've been paying attention, taking notes.
These 10-inch coaxes, I already have a prime candidate for that. We're building a big monster SPL vehicle. It's a Dodge truck. We're going to put 6 of those in each door. So 6 10-inch coaxes in each door.
Nice.
6 10-inch coaxes in a door? How do you even fit 6 10s in a door?
Yes.
It's a perfect fit.
I love it.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Factory fit.
Don't need windows to roll down. That's what AC is for.
Whoa, settle down. The windows will still work because we have to do heretics.
Okay.
Right. Or just take out the window altogether. There's no window required.
There you go.
Yeah.
You have to be able to drive it on the street. Come on, guys.
This is true. Fair enough. Or on and off a trailer bed, but that's okay. Dave, what I want to hear from you, Ray, talk to us a little bit about the feedback you get from customers, and when you say, customer comes in and say, hey, I want to upgrade my bike, and you're like, oh, Diamond. Like, what are real time? What was the type of reactions or feedback you get?
Okay, so all of the bike customers that we've done are mostly Harley Davidson. Probably 90% of the bikes that we do Harley Davidson. They are by far the best money value product that's on the market, even at $600 or $700 for a set of speakers. They're more than happy to pay that. Again, like you said earlier, I mean, these bikes are not cheap. They're like $70,000 to $110,000 for a single bike. The only thing that I have had was that, these are a little bit too bright, and I had to turn down a customer stereo system. And that's the only complaint that I've ever had. And maybe he's just a little bit older and didn't like it quite as loud. But overall, the feedback that I get from all my clients is that this is the best stuff that they've had. Waterproofing on them is substantially better than some of the other.
I was going to ask longevity. Have you had customers that been out like 2 seasons, 3 seasons, 4 seasons?
Oh yeah. So one of the things that we had a customer test is so that the coax sub, it's fully waterproof. We had a customer that had water sitting in there for about a week and turned it on and played in like no problem, no issues and stuff like that.
Okay.
And so
nice.
Feel very confident if you put these in a set of lids, and it's all sealed up right. The speaker itself is fully waterproof. No water gets from the front side to the back side. And like I said, they had water sitting in it for like a week. Turn it on, and it's still like no issues or problems and stuff like that.
Very cool. And on that comment about the brightness, I mean, it's much better to be able to turn it down than to not have enough.
100%. That's exactly what I told them. And I said, typically we tune our bikes, anything 6,400 hertz and up has got to be a little bit hot, because as soon as you start rolling, you have all that wind noise, you hit 60 miles an hour, et cetera, you lose a lot of that high end. So if it's not bright to begin with, you have nothing when you start rolling and stuff like that. So super, super important to have that.
What about the amplifier side of things for the bikes?
Oh, amplifiers are fantastic. They all work super, super, super awesome. Lots of power, very, very clean.
That's 3 supers.
Yeah, that is 3 supers. So I guess that leads me to my next, thought process. DSPs. I understand. I mean, Diamond Audio only has one. A couple things that I would like to see. One, if they're to my knowledge and from the conversation that we had with Bryan, there is no weather-resistant DSPs on the market.
No.
If Diamond Audio was to make one, they could really corner that market. And if they could shrink it just a little bit in size for fitment, there are some bikes that are a little bit tight to get, their DSP into and stuff like that. So if they could get one that was a little bit smaller and one that's a little bit weather resistant, that would be absolutely amazing.
Okay.
Thought?
Weather resistance, I'd have to look into that. Like, I need to see what the availability of what it would take to make that happen. We are developing some new DSPs. The last I saw of anything is that they are shrinking in size, so they will be considerably smaller for a couple of them.
A couple of them.
That implies there's going to be more than
one. That's what I heard.
Did I say that? So I can't really elaborate too much more on that, but yes, we are working on new DSPs to have more offerings and expandability for guys, motorcycles and car audio.
Fantastic.
So
can I ask you a question, Ray? Do you see that becoming more of a demand to have DSP on platforms like motorcycles?
Oh, 100%. So if you want exceptionally good audio, you absolutely 100% need a DSP on a bike.
I will say this, and I've said this for years, even when I was, still working retail. Every single vehicle that you build needs a DSP. It doesn't matter if it's basic or super elaborate. Everybody can benefit from a DSP.
Okay.
I see lots of new head units for vehicles coming out that are having DSP built in now. So, I mean, if that
basic DSP
is an indicator as far as, what direction everybody's going towards, it's definitely, mandatory in my opinion.
Absolutely. Growing category.
The reason I asked that is because different from car, where so many factory vehicles are coming with factory filters, bandpass, all this treatment on the sound and the signal. Does motorcycle represent that as well?
Oh yes.
So okay, I don't know. I'm not familiar.
You get a Harley Davidson, it has its own equalization circuit and stuff like that all in there. It has a tune, as you would call it, built into the actual factory Harley Davidson radio, and it's matched to their speakers. And you definitely don't want to use that.
No.
Okay, gotcha.
So in an ideal world, what you do is you get it into your shop, you reprogram it, you start fresh with the flat signal.
And
then go from there. It is possible to, if you don't have access to a flasher to reprogram it to get flat output, you can use the DSP to re-equalize it to get a somewhat flat signal and then go from there to your output. But definitely it has to be contended with, like you were saying about the stock units. They're all like that, including
right. So flashing at the source is probably your best option.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Before I let you go, Ray, because obviously you're a wealth of knowledge, and I'm sure Dix and Bryan from Diamond appreciate the comments that they've heard from you so far. Sum it up for me. Other dealers tuning in, maybe already doing motorcycle, maybe thinking about doing motorcycle, maybe looking for a full line. Why would you recommend Diamond Audio to them?
Well, Diamond Audio is a fantastic line for a couple of reasons. One, money value is absolutely there. Two, brand recognition is, out there. Like I said, I mean, back in the late 90s, early 2000s, we were doing IASCA events with all their products and stuff like that. So sound quality is absolutely key. Durability of the product is 100% there. And Dix is just 100% behind the product. They have good inventory on it. So I'm 100% confident saying, if anybody wants to get into it, absolutely, definitely take the plunge and do it. You definitely will not be let down.
I've heard that a couple of times. That Dix, when they inventory, it's deep. Whatever's available, they would have it, or else it's just not available. And Dave likes to buy. Apparently,
we like to spend the money. Yeah, absolutely. We know that this is the on-demand market.
He likes to sell.
Yeah, it's an on-demand market. If we don't have it, it doesn't sell.
Yes.
You got to have it. You got to be able to help the market out. You got to have your dealers back. And when they need something right now because a deal just came through their door, we have it on the shelf. We make sure we do.
There we go. Ray, any last words? Anybody you'd like to give a shout out to? Any messaging?
Well, I'd like to thank my wife for letting me take my Monday and come do this because, it's my day off.
Well, thanks for coming, Ray.
But overall,
care package from Dix. Care package.
Thank you, Diamond Audio, for making for some fantastic product. Thanks to Dix for, letting us be, partners with you guys and moving forward and building the brand and stuff like that. So, and
glad to have you on board, Ray.
And so thank you for SiriusXM for sponsoring Connected, CMA, and everything else. So appreciate it.
Awesome. Ray, always a pleasure to have you, sir. Thank you for taking the time to go back to what you were doing, taking a day off.
Have a good day, guys.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Ray.
See, I'm not the bad guy. I didn't ask you about the DSP. Ray did. That wasn't me. Listen, I think that was a great session, guys. I think we showed dealers a glimpse of the catalog, right? A couple key picks, a couple key items that are coming down the pipeline, and some perspective, right? Courtesy of Ray and FX. I think the message is kind of going back to what you said in the beginning of the show, Dave, which is it's a pretty solid line. The value is there. Brand recognition, like Ray has said, but I think what he was most happy with and why he continues to do it is just the value. I think value is a key word. Yeah,
value is huge here. You get a lot for your money, and nothing more impressive than turning the key on one of these bikes and really showing it off in the parking lot and just blowing the other guy out of the water and doing it on a budget, not having an open wallet to spend whatever you can spend. If you're a legitimate guy that has a family and rides weekends, you can afford this gear. You don't have to break the bank. You don't have to hide the credit card bill from the wife. You can sneak this stuff through pretty easily.
Car audio's got to be in one of those top 3 things that happens, and I have to. I just think it
absolutely.
Affordable for sure. But if for the guy who maybe already went that, and maybe he's on his second bike now, and he's liked the brand now with this new Neo offering, I think there's some upgrades and high end, and I think the options to stay brand loyal are there as well, right? From a future sales standpoint.
Absolutely.
Bryan, any last words?
We talked about a few things that are coming. We have more things coming. I just can't touch on all of them. We just don't have the time.
I'm going to leave you alone. I think we beat you up pretty good today. We'll save that for another.
We've got more stuff coming though. So be on the lookout for that. If you're going to be at SEMA, we got some cool stuff to show that's coming out. As far as new products that are vehicle specific to a degree. So some new goodies coming there.
Didn't we talk about that today?
Probably not what you're thinking. So definitely something to see.
Boys and girls have been busy at the Diamond Camp.
Oh, we are always busy. I actually can say I just got a box yesterday of more products to test. So we are definitely always evolving and moving forward.
Very best. All right, Bryan, thank you for taking the time today, man. And
Absolutely.
Hopefully we didn't beat you up too bad. But
no, not at all. I enjoyed being here. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Take care.
Thanks, Bryan.
Bye.
There you have it, Dave. Any last message you have? I'm going to put up the digits one more time here for anybody who's interested in contacting Dix, getting in some Diamond
We're happy
audio.
to show off what we showed off today. We didn't even touch on vehicle-specific kits.
No.
And Diamond's going down a deep rabbit hole with that stuff. And it's really great to see that they're concerned about fitment and that drop-in solution for those customers. And we're just happy to be a part of all of this. They make it very exciting to be in car audio. They make it exciting to be a distributor. Moving boxes isn't always the most exciting thing, but they really include us in what they're doing in their marketing and in their planning of new products, and making sure we have the stuff to sell. Rush shipments are a thing from them, and man, are we glad for them. Otherwise, we wouldn't have had some things here to show off today. So if you need it, and we have it. We can get it out to you right away.
Again, digits on the bottom. Diamond Audio. If you're in Canada, make sure you get a hold of Dave and the team at Dix Performance. Numbers are there. Website is there. Dave, thank you so much for your time today. We look forward to the next one.
See you guys. You too.
There you have it, everybody. Diamond Audio for the first time here on CMA Connected. Busy week this week. We've got 2 more Connecteds coming to you on Wednesday and Friday. And of course, you want to tune in Wednesday night for our next CMA live episode. And the theme this week is all about complete audio brands. We're going to have Sony, Kenwood, Pioneer, and Alpine all in the house talking about the great lineup of products that they offer, and a lot more news coming to you this week. So you guys want to stay tuned. Hey, thanks for tuning in to this lunchtime learning session. CMA Connected presented by SiriusXM. I'm your host, Ben Wu. Until next time, we connect.